Alright, hello everybody. I've got the top 8 deck lists here from the Sorcery League Season 4 Discord competition. The top 32 counts I'll have popular cards after this, and we'll just go through these top 8 deck lists here. Akuna Matata by Mr. Potato Knight. Him and Kevin worked really hard on this Avatar of Air list, kind of disruption, play bells on your avatar, kind of beat you down in the early game and make you not be able to play your big spells. So they've got Cloud Spirit for the +2 movement, so they can really attack wherever it wants, especially with the Avatar of Air's ability. Howling Falconer is a 2 bodies for the 1 card. Palbury Bats is a great anti-roots. It can bury and cast a Devil's Egg on to somebody's undersight, so it makes it hard to remove. Heist Eagle is a very interesting one here. If you read Kevin's primer on his list, Heist Eagle was a stellar include. Headless Haunt is a really efficient minion with built-in evasion for a little bit of it. The random sight it's kind of awkward, but 9 times out of 10 you can hit their sights with it. You can also play it as a blocker, so it's very versatile. And then you have some movement abilities which can help move it to an advantageous position. A Plume Pegasus is probably one of the best airborne vanilla creatures. You play a sight on turn 1, play a tower on turn 2, you play this guy on turn 2, and you have 3 power with airborne on turn 2. It's a very similar play pattern to Earth's like boss control. So getting a 3 power out on turn 2 is a very good goal. And then if you don't have that, you can get a airborne charge minion on turn 3 with a tower. Withering Hero is just another 4 power flyer. This curve tops out at 4, so you get to 4 mana really easily. The removal spells in this deck are kind of light. Like Grapple Shot can be a removal spell, and Chaos Twister is a hard removal spell. But a lot of this deck's ability to remove minions relies on Bottomless Pit and Free City, and the Avatar of Air's ability. So if you attack in, she can move to your site and then push you onto Bottomless Pit and remove you that way. Cloud City is so strong. It's probably one of the better sites in just like Mirror Realm, Pillars of Arrows, and Cloud City, maybe like being top 3. Cloud City being able to move and reposition wherever you want is very strong. Sinkhole, and the other sub-theme of this deck is Mana Screw. So Sinkhole, you can remove a Pathfinder's 1 fire threshold or something, and then play Maddening Bells, and you can really restrict the opponent's ability to play sites and play bigger minions and go through curves. Updraft Ridge, that +1 movement on airborne minions. I'm pretty sure almost all minions over here have airborne except Headless Haunt and Phase Assassin and Howling Falconer. So very often this is going to gives a flyer the ability of Cloud Spirit to attack wherever you want, and then Watchtower for the anti-infiltrate stuff. So we'll go to the 7th. So we have an Elementalist list here, which is really interesting to see. So you, as Elementalist, you get to be really greedy and play almost whatever you want, and have more support sites and/or in this case Roots of Yggdrasil. So you can blow Roots and play a 4 or 5 drop with some other kind of threshold issue. So Philosopher's Stone makes a lot of sense in a lot of different threshold decks. Gilded Aegis is an interesting one. It works with Roots, so you can play Gildus on a minion and then blow Roots and save your minion, and then you have a minion on board and they don't. Minions here is 29 minions. The thing I've been seeing a lot recently is a higher minion count than Magic's. In the past 3 to 6 months, it's usually been about 23 to 17 Magics, 24 Magics, 16 Magics. Kind of like that's the balance. I've definitely started seeing a 25 plus minion count with a 15 or lower Magic count. So I think playing minions is just almost as good as plain magics. You can chump block them with them, you can deal damage, so be on the watch out for higher minion counts in the future. Of course, some Kobolds, that one threshold, you can just play it. Call of Duty Dragonets, you just need the one extra threshold, and it's a pinger. You can use this for Death's Door hits, and it's very good. Skirmishers of Moo has that really high ceiling of hitting for 6 for a 4-drop. Royal Bodyguard is very good to just absorb a little bit of damage. Thunderstorm is so good. Play this on turn 3 with a tower and deal 9 damage. That's half the life total, so it really puts you in an advantageous position to if you get Thunderstorm and hit them consistently. Dapple Vampires for the healing. If I've talked about this before, this is really an 8-point life swing. It's not just 4 damage; it can be an 8-point life swing, so that's very good. And then the magics here: Ablaze is movement, Grapple Shot for probably a finishing spell or finishing kill, Scorched Earth for the roots combo, and Chaos Twister for hard removal. An interesting one here is Kingdom of Gartha. Since they're not playing any like berry effects, having this as anti-berry tech makes a lot of sense. Sinkhole for roots. Vesuvius is a pretty good fire site. It can also be a kill spell if your opponent's not paying attention, so very good one there. Here, I played my Avatar of Earth Midland Mayhem deck list, so Boss Trolls on 2 is really aggressive. Angel's Egg and Divine Healing for some Outlast life gain. Atlas Wanderers plays into the role of moving sites around. Earthquake removes chump blockers and gets a site where you want it. Poison Over is a board wipe 90% of the time. Quartersome Kobolds is a kill spell off the top along with Violamp. Common sense to go get what you need. Either it be a Violamp or even a Cave Trolls to deal with their spiders. I like 3 common sense. You can see it consistently. Sometimes you see 2. It's a little awkward, but you can go get a 2-drop or a 3-drop and still double spell. But get what you need. And the last top 8 deck here, I have by Jams Thinks I Hate It. His Battle Mage deck, he's still going on that Battle Mage train. Tor's Hammer Trinket here. If he sees 1 or 2 of these, put them on the Avatar, hit for 4. That's what I'm doing with Avatar of Earth. It feels really strong there. Same thing with Flaming Sword, be a 4 power and do that splash damage. Playing more minions than a lot of Battle Mage lists I see. Pit Vipers is a really good blocker and annoying one. Scarabs to deal 4 damage to a enemy Avatar is really good, or it just removes a 4 power for 2. So that's a good trade. Quartersome Kobolds is just Kobolds, and it's very good. Spider, same thing with the Avatar of Earth. You put this on underneath your Avatar, and then you just attack in for free. They can't really block. Precision Cavalry, the aggressive minion. It comes down, does a thing. In this case, does 3 damage, but it's very good there. In the magics, Divine Healing makes a lot of sense. The aggressive avatars with Avatar of Earth and Battle Mage are very susceptible to early damage. If you get down to 12 damage or 12 life before you can really start doing your stuff, you feel kind of fragile. So that makes sense. Common sense to go get Dispel or Firebolts or Mad Dash, and you can do what you want to do. Extra movement with the Blaze and Mad Dash makes a lot of sense. Gigantism on your Avatar really hurts. And then an Infiltrate to remove or block. Leap Attack strikes. It's very good here. Bedrocks, Holy Grounds for some healing. Pillars of those more healing. A good site list here. Alright, moving on to top 4. We have Ira. Ira actually knocked me out of the top 4 when I played against him. I got him to 20, or no, that was our Swiss rounds. Sorry, I got him down to 4, but I was at 20. He played Nimbus Jin and got me. But it's just so close. But Ruby Core and playing the full cores with a Highland Princess makes it so consistent to go get at least Philosopher's Stone or something. Oleantin Fate, single best card in a vacuum. Evil Presence, giving your Nimbus Jin haste is really, really painful. Fey Changeling, Apprentice Wizard, Violence, these are all stall cards and chump blockers, and getting to the point where you can Nimbus Gen. Rule of Thule can kind of be a surprise with all your chump blockers. You can come back around and hit for 2 or 3 with your chump blocks. Cortesian Thias is a kill spell. It gets a little awkward if you play it like mid game. You can really set it up for on the opponent's turn when they're controlling your turn. They can't really do a whole lot, but Nimbus Shin being the finisher here. Browse to find the combo pieces, Common Sense to go get pieces, Firebolts for a kill spell, Lightning Bolt for a kill spell. Wind Blast is a very interesting one here. Pushing your enemy minions where they don't want to be can be very strong. Earthquake is a great board wipe and rearrange stuff. Chaos Twister is a hard removal spell that's very good. Can kind of be a 2-for-1 sometimes, and that's when the tempo really swings. The next top 4 cut, or top 4 list here, another Death Speaker list. I'm playing Crusade for Retainus Titan and dropping that on an enemy avatar. Playing all the cores here, minus the air one, I think. No, minus water, minus the Atlantean core. Angel's Egg for the healing. If you play Angel's Egg, against like a low to the ground sorcerer aggro list, even if they're attacking for 2 or 3 a turn, they're only really attacking for 0-1. Essentially, Angel's Egg is really good against the little ping damage over time. It's not so great against like the spike damage of like a Janky Hidism or something, but still very good. Death Dealer to reset the board. Common Sense and spells, Lightning Bolts. Border Militia is an interesting one here. More chump blocks for the Death Speaker to do its thing. Scorched Earth. Oh, this is a Roots of Yggdrasil deck. So Death Speaker with Roots is a little awkward because you have to have a really good follow-up. You hope you have some bedrocks, but good job on top 4. So that's first place. So the runner-up here, Ragnarok by CJ, is a Seer Roots kind of list. Roots is not the main game plan, but it can be done. Land Surveyor to find more sites, and with, I think he plays Crossroads. Crossroads plus Land Surveyor plus Seer can make the Roots combo deck very consistent. But that's not all that this deck does. It's playing the Fire Earth aggro package with Violence and Unicorns and Cave Trolls. Kobolds being the house they are. Spiders being really annoying to remove enemy minions. Cavalry for aggressive, come down, do something. Minions, Bodyguard to save some damage if they're being pushed. Amazon Warriors is a great post-Roots card because it's only the 1 Earth threshold. So you play this, and then the enemy has to deal with this 5-power minion. And Atlas Wanderers for the rearranging is really good here too. And then a very Earth Fire magic package with Earthquake and Infiltrates, Firebolt and Blaze, and a Dispel. 3 Common Sense to go get stuff. So nice job on runner-up. And first place here, Birds by Kev. So this is the Avatar of Air list that was similar to PK's, with Tor's Hammer's Trinket, Devil's Eggs, Maddening Bells, and Rolling Boulder for kill spells. The Tor's Trinket, put him on literally anything, the Bats or a Eagle or a Haunt. It's very punishing for an extra damage, and you use your mana very efficiently. Devil's Egg, if you get this early, turn 4, bury it on their site. By turn 6, you've already dealt 6 damage to them with the egg, so it easily removes half their life total if they can't deal with it. So it's very good there. Bells with the sub theme of Mana Screw, because this deck is operating on 4 or less mana 90% of the time. Cloud Spirit for the +2 movement. This can also be a really good kill spell if they don't have enough blockers. And yeah, this is a very similar list to PK's. Nice job, Kevin, on the win. Grapple Shot, Lightning Bolt for some kill spells, and then the Bottomless Pits and Free Cities for more kill spells with the Avatar of Air's ability, pushing minions into them. Mirror Realm being whatever you need, and a sinkhole to mess up the opponent's sights as well. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'm going to the Baltimore Cartesian Cup this weekend. I will probably post this out on Wednesday after deck lists are done. But thank you, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye. All right, hello everybody. Welcome back. We've got the top 32 deck lists from the TTS League Season 4. Here are some of the popular cards from the lists of the top 32 decks. Right here off the top, Barry, Dark Tower, Lone Tower, Gothic Tower. These are all solid, generically good cards. Barry is just hard removal for most of the decks because a lot of decks aren't running water. Common Sense is so flexible. And then you get down here to air, and the most common air spell is Lightning Bolt. Here we'll take a look at the top avatars. We have Death Speaker at 7 of the 32. It makes a lot of sense. Death Speaker is the most consistent deck out there, probably, with the ability to cast from the graveyard and the amount of card draw it has. Sorcerer, generically good with the double draw in the middle of the late game. Avatar of Earth and Battle Mage have very similar game plans of get to 4, 5, 6 mana and start hitting in with the Avatar. Enchantress is a good control list, and Geomancer out of the New Zealand Australia Championship makes a lot of sense here. Avatar of Air ended up winning the entire thing. Avatar of Air really benefits the pilot's ability to position and to get in chip damage throughout the entire game. Elementalist, you can just play whatever you want. Pathfinder, you get that early card advantage. Pathfinder and Sorcerer kind of play similar games of card advantage. Pathfinder just gets it a little bit earlier, and Geomancer also plays the card advantage game, but can control where its sights go. Seer actually got second place in this TTS League, and Seer's is not card advantage, it's card selection, so this benefits really well versed people who know what kind of cards they need and which matchup. Avatar Water and Fire sadly don't have anything. Wave Shaper, Water's just being weak, is just weak, and then Smirk Mage, there's probably a pretty good Smirk Mage deck out there. It's just a little, it tends to run out of gas really quickly. And Flamecaller, kind of playing off of the Death Speaker card advantage, playing out of the graveyard, but also now using your graveyard as resources. And there's probably a pretty cool Flamecaller list with some discard outlets, but hasn't been found yet. So I'm just going to go through the different thresholds and the popular cards. In the past, I've done ordinaries and uniques, but I think we kind of already know what the good uniques and stuff are. We'll go from here. Lightning Bolt and Chaos Twister in air is their premium removal. Grandmaster Wizard is card draw for the Death Speaker lists, and Grapple Shot. With the Avatar of Earth and Air Splash, the Grapple Shot you can hit for 16 in a turn really easily. Blink and Movement, Apprentice Wizard, and Draw makes a lot of sense here. And Highland Princess for the Death Speaker list, finding their cores, or when we get to artifacts, the Tor's Hammer Trinket. Alright, here the most common Earth spell is Barrage, is the premium removal. Common Sense, almost the same kind of role as the Highland Princess in air. You can go find what you need. Earthquake is premium board wipe removal, and Root Spider is probably the best minion in the game, just because it's a removal spell, and if you're playing an aggressive avatar, you can just attack for free. Here, Divine Healing. One Divine Healing usually is enough to swing the game in your favor. Gigantism, it kind of plays a similar role to Divine Healing, and where it's a giant life point swing. Gigantism is just a little weird, where if they have chump blockers, it doesn't really do anything. Land Surveyor for a ramp in the Death Speaker list makes a lot of sense here. You can cast it, and then when it chumps blocks something and you cast it again, you get 2 sights off of it, and that's 2 sights or 2 spells you can draw when you just have extra card draw with the sights. Here in Fire, Violent being the most popular card and the most played in the percent of decks. It's a kill spell, it's a removal spell, it's a body, it's just very efficient for what it does. Infiltrate can be the huge swing of steal your big thing, hit you with your big thing, and it feels bad. Infiltrate has gone down in the counts played because you don't really want to see more than one. And then there's a lot of watchtowers and incidental stealth removal out there. And Quarrelsome Kobolds playing a similar role as Violent. Kobolds can play well with any buff effects like Tor's Hammer Trinket, hint hint, wink wink. Blaze is movement. Movement in this game will win you more games than not. Movement is very good, and with Blaze being a removal spell as well for the smaller minions, makes a lot of sense. We'll go to Water next. Alright, here in Water, Atlantean Fate is, in a vacuum, probably the single best card. It's the Earthquake removal, and it removes the opponent's threshold, so you can really threshold screw somebody. Fade Changeling, I'm pretty sure this is played in some of the Battle Mage decks, and just bouncing a blocker, it feels really good. Riptide for a little bit of card draw and repositioning. Again, movement is really good. And Abundance here is in some of the Enchantress decks. Abundance played on your 4 sites, you get mana, and then next turn you can swing in for 5, and it's really good. Alright, here we have Artifacts. Artifacts, like, the cores are really good. This is not surprising. This is probably in a lot of the Death Speaker and other decks. I'm not sure if Enchantress plays them or some Sorcerer lists play them just to ramp out a little bit earlier to get to turn to 4 mana a little quicker. But Tor's Hammer Trinket here, I think, is the big learning thing out of these stats. Is Trinket is so good. It's an extra damage. It allows you to use your mana efficiently. There's no way for them to remove Trinket because it bounces back to your hand. You play 2 or 3 trinkets, you draw 1 or 2 throughout the game. You have that source of consistent damage. Even if you play it onto your avatar and attack for 3, that's really good because you're essentially a battle mage at that point. You can play them on kobolds. Kobolds will then hit strike for 3, so it's a 3 power removal spell with those 2. If you have 2 trinkets and you hit for 4 and hit something else for 4, it is punishing beyond belief. Rolling Boulder is a really good finishing and possible removal spell because it does that piercing. And then another core, Maddening Bells, is kind of plays into the Avatar of Air's idea of disruption and just ping attack everything. Change is really good in the Enchantress builds because it doesn't affect your minions. And yeah, one to take out of here is to watch out for Tor's Trinket Hammer. So sites here, yeah, the towers are the most played just because they're ramp on a site, and it's very good to have that extra spell or turn 3 4 drop, some haste creature or something. Mirror Realm can be whatever you need whenever you need it. Pillars of Zeros is a heal and a Death Speaker hate card, so perfect there. Bedrock played in some of the Roots decks and counter 2 Roots, so having a Bedrock when you're playing a Roots deck is so beneficial. And then Ruins and Observatories, some air and water sites, but the dual lands are Holy Ground. I've actually gone down on Holy Ground a little bit since the New Zealand just winners did the explanation they had for why they played Villages over Holy Ground. Villages doesn't get affected by Atlantean Fate. Villages produce a little chump blocker so they can save you 3 life in a chump block. So I really like Village over Holy Ground now.